Lance Stroll is making headlines with his behavior yet again, but this time it seems like things are a bit more serious. The infamous wrist injury that kept him out of the Barcelona GP might be the reason behind Lance considering retiring from the sport on his own. The pain he's been experiencing since 2023 reportedly became too much to handle, and with new proof that it's precisely this pain that caused the outburst in Barcelona, could we see Lance retire on his own terms? And if he does that, how would it impact his father's multi-million-dollar project, given the fact that Lawrence always viewed Lance as the cornerstone of it? The latest development of events revolving around Lance Stroll is not spelling good news for the Canadian driver. Even though he was cleared to race on his home turf, it seems like the wrist injury he sustained from the bicycle accident back in 2023 is much more serious than we thought. A direct proof of that is the fact that Lance missed the weigh-in after qualifying in Barcelona, something that is considered mandatory, before he went to the garage to have the outburst he did. According to the report of the FIA, driver number 18 missed the weigh-in, which needs to happen immediately after a Q1 or a Q2 exit. And when they spoke to the team, the marshals were told that there is a medical reason behind this. This gives a fresh twist to the entire outburst saga of Stroll. It could very well be that it's been provoked by the consistent pain he's been feeling, and not the other way around. Because of this, Lance lapped half a second slower than Alonso and was advised to undergo the surgery so that he'd be ready for the Canadian GP, not risking anything further in the Barcelona GP on Sunday. Either the pain was too big to handle, or Lance did something very reckless in the garage that aggravated the injury to a greater extent. One thing is for sure, the behavior in the garage didn't help Lance's wrist at all. So who knows whether or not he made things worse by letting the emotions get the best out of him. We cannot know for sure. But there is one thing that we need to say as it is. Lance is responsible for all but 2 points that Aston Martin scored in 2025. The critiques cannot really be applied to this season, despite the team being utterly poor performing in the last couple of seasons. Still, the lack of love he has for F1 is just baffling. He shows no interest in any type of activity, acts like he is not present mentally during press conferences, and is clearly there just because of his father's ambitions. The harsh reality might have caught up to Lance, and we had some indications he would withdraw from Formula One on his own. Just look at the Singapore GP in 2023. After a horrifying crash in qualifying, Lance missed out on the race, and his mother reportedly urged Lawrence to let go of their son and allow him to pursue his own sports career in another category, potentially even another sport. Almost 2 years later, and we're back at square one. Lance Stroll is still present in the sport, and he is still failing to meet the expectations of his team. Be that as it may, the Canadian driver did try himself out in Rally 2 in a secret testing that was conducted in Portugal. So maybe he is discovering a love that he didn't know was there because of his father's guidelines. I highly doubt there is any chance whatsoever that Lawrence will just wake up one day and realize that his son is not built for a championship or a top-tier driver. He made it to Formula One, and that should be enough of an accomplishment. There are tons of drivers who fail to get where Lance is, and although he's done it with the help of his father's money, let's not forget about his amazing rookie season with Williams, a podium in Baku, and 40 points to his name. Still, the behavior that Lance has towards the staff and his race engineer is not excusable. If we are to look at how he acted in Qatar in 2023 with his physio, then it's easy to understand why there is no place for Stroll in this sport. During the radio communications, it's like he's trying to be as rude and as harsh as possible without having any particular reason to do so. It's a clear indicator that he hates what he does, and he is forced to pursue some other dreams and philosophies that do not align with his own. Therefore, it would be only right if he decided to end the F1 career on his own terms. I would understand his communication outbursts and the acts of violence in the garage if he was championship material, and there was a lot at stake. But acting the way you do, and then failing to bring any realistic values to your team, while knowing that you're present in the sport because of your father's money, is just not going to cut it. The scenery in Aston Martin is going to change very soon, and I highly doubt that the top members of the team like Adrian Newey and Honda's leadership will pardon such behavior from Lance.